and that stream was completely out of sync. I legit have no idea why, but having watched it, it was not good enough. Clearly, it was not watchable. So I agree with you guys. It needed to be sorted, and hopefully this has sorted it. So you'll have to let me know whilst I'm waiting, because there is like a slight delay. Whilst I'm waiting for you guys to let me know if this is any better or not, I am going to just set the old stream to private so that people don't go to the wrong stream. Let me do that. Okay, cool. So that's been set to private. So the old stream is hidden. That means that people can only find this stream now, which is good. Just have to hope that it is in sync. Let's have a look. The audio, it hasn't worked. Why? Why is my answer? Is my question why? Considering we're doing nothing different to anything we've ever done. Haven't changed a setting, haven't done anything, and it is out of sync. So why would that be happening? Still off. Very, very close. Did you get a new mic? No. Well, I have bought a new mic, but this isn't it. So, no. A different USB put than the one for the audio cable might help. You normally have more than one. Yeah, but it shouldn't. I don't understand. Like, we stream a lot. And we've done quite a few streams on the new PC. And this is just not an issue we've encountered before. It's worse. Well, isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting? The fact that it is now worse. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to try and drop the settings again. Let me, I'll stop the stream and I'll drop the settings and I'll see if that's any better. Okay, I dropped the settings. I don't know if that's going to be any better at all. But the settings have been dropped. So you'll have to let me know if that has now brought it in sync. New stream problems. It's better. I don't want better. I want perfect. That's what I want. I work with video editing. Only today my normal input, which I always record, also gave up. I changed the input and it worked again. Do you use OBS? I've got a lot of experience. That's a lot better. Still the same. Still out of sync. Oh my God, don't stress about it. Well, I want it to be right. I can change... hang on. Let me change the microphone input, but I'm just not confident that's going to change anything. Let's try that. Right, okay, and let me turn this off. Right, hopefully it was fixed. You had it. That worked. It's worked. Then you froze. Okay, perfect. Yes. Jeez Louise. I mean, honestly, that's a nightmare, isn't it? Not for me. Well, it is a nightmare for me, but more of a nightmare for you guys, because who wants to flip and click on a stream and then watch someone having to faff around with technical stuff for ages? I wonder if I can... I don't really want to mess around, but I am going to try and boost the quality a little bit. Don't know if that was a good idea or a bad idea, but I've just done it anyway. Right, anyway. Hello. I have no idea if people heard the preview for tonight, but let's break down it again, because I'm sure everyone was just shouting, your audio's trash, which is totally fair. We have got Braun Strowman on the blue brand. We've got a fatal five-way to determine who faces Liv Morgan at Extreme Rules. So the winner will be going to Extreme Rules. Then you've got Street Profits and Hit Row taking on Los Lotharios and Maximum Male Models. In regards to that fatal five-way, it's Xia Li, Lacey Evans, Sonya Deville, Ronda Rousey, and Natalya. That is the 5 women that make up the Fatal 5-Way, with the winner going to Extreme Rules. Hello, everyone. I hope you are well. We are finally up and running after 20 minutes of faffage, but we've done our breakdown of what's on SmackDown. Thankfully, there wasn't loads to go through, so we can jump in the chat and see what people want to talk about. Skylar says, anyways, if you Google Eric Rowan, it is listed in the bio that pops up. If you Google Eric Rowan, it is listed in the bio that pops up. Okay, Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan, American professional wrestler. Bludgeon Brothers. Is an American wrestler. He is... Oh, okay, I've got it. He is currently signed with WWE, where he performs on the Royal brand under the name Eric Rowan, having wrestled in Japan. Let's click on it. Okay. Well, yeah, it is true that if you look at his Wikipedia page, it says that he is currently signed with WWE, but Wikipedia can be edited by pretty much anyone. So, I mean, I certainly wouldn't be using that as confirmation of anything, to be honest. It's quite good. I do use it for looking back on like previous pay-per-view results. It's quite good for that. But I wouldn't be leaning on that. It looks like it's just a mistake. Because, to be honest, I haven't seen any reports that he is re-signed. I'm just having a look, seeing if there's anything in the news. Eric Rowan talks about Wyatt family and rumours. Tony Khan and Eric Redbeard have an understanding. No. 1 month ago, 3 months ago. 1 month ago, 4 weeks ago, 10 hours ago. No news. That's why I asked if there was more behind the scenes. We don't know, says Skylar. Sounds like Rowan's Wikipedia page just hasn't been updated in a while. I tweeted you some, but haven't been seen in days. Okay. I mean, yesterday was pretty busy, obviously. Carol said, Sap said on stream, it seems that it's headed for a Wyatt family. Keaton said, how are you? I'm doing good. I hope you are well. Tarek said, will Solo Sikoa join the Bloodline tonight? Well, that's going to be very interesting. They haven't actually advertised Roman or the Bloodline for tonight, so I don't know if we're going to be seeing Roman. I would hope that we are. But it would be a bit weird to have Roman on the show and not advertise him. So I actually don't know what we're getting tonight in regards to that. I don't know if it's just going to be a video package where we see Solo Sikoa helping Roman. They haven't even said we're going to hear from Drew, and I would think that we would hear from Drew. I mean, this is the fallout from Clash. This is arguably a bigger show than Raw, because this involves what was the main event, and also it involves the Intercontinental Championship. No word on if we'll see Gunther tonight. I really don't know, to be honest. Yeah, I really don't know. It's kind of up in the air. So we'll have to wait and see. But I have heard a few rumors that Solo Sikoa might not be joining the Bloodline. And actually, he might have helped Roman, but he will now go on his own way, his own direction. Don't know if that's true. It's just something that I heard. And we'll have to wait and see. Days, what are your thoughts on the Queen? Well, just awful news. The thing with it is that it was a surprise, but it wasn't a surprise. I mean, she was getting to that age. I mean, she was in her 90s. So at that kind of age, you've got to think that it could happen at any moment. There were reports, and we've known for a long time her health has been deteriorating. I mean, she's cut down on everything she did. And, it just came out of the blue. Yesterday, when I woke up, I did not think that was the day that she was going to be passing away. It was not on my mind at all. I actually went to the shops, got a toy hunt recorded yesterday. So I did that in the kind of daytime. When I came back, I saw the news that she was not in a great condition. But I went to bed. So when the news actually broke, she'd passed, I was actually asleep. I woke up probably about an hour after it had been announced and saw the news. But to be honest, I went back to sleep because I knew there wasn't going to be much that they were going to be able to tell us. They were just making the announcement, really. So it proved. When I finally got up, all the TV channels were obviously about it. They were just playing footage of her life, what she'd done, all of that kind of stuff. So I watched that for a bit. And then obviously, like today, he's made a speech, which I still haven't seen, actually. Again, I was busy kind of doing other things. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch that. So I do want to see that. I do like the royal family. It was difficult. I've had people that like have hit me up saying like, "Oh, I'm really sorry," and all this kind of stuff. But to be honest, people don't need to do that because obviously it's not like my personal loss. But I think this one in particular, I think, is the world's loss. I think this one definitely affects the world. And that's something that has been shown a lot on TV. So, they've shown a lot of, like, I thought what the Canadian Prime Minister, President, whatever, I think it's Prime Minister, I thought what he said was really nice. Really nice. You could tell that it was very heartfelt. You could tell that he had a great relationship with her. And that watching him give that speech, I thought came across really, really well. So I'm not interested in politics. Not interested in if he's good, if he's bad. Don't care. I'm just saying that what he said, how he said it, how it came across, kind of the emotion that was in there, I thought was really nice. Actually, I've seen a few. I thought that the New Zealand, I forget her name, Jardine, can't remember her name. Jordan, is it? She was came across really well also. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen everyone's reaction, of course, but it was, I don't know. I think this is a loss for the world. I really do. I think that she was a really nice person. I mean, like, she gave her life to, opening up different facilities, hospices. She did a lot for, obviously, charity and she traveled around the world. She was the head of state for 50-odd countries. And I just think, like, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, like, pointing at Britain's past for various things. And it's like, I wouldn't, yeah, all right, we've done stuff wrong, but we've done stuff that's great as well. Just like I would argue every country around the world. Every country's done things that it looks back on and regrets now. But we've also done some stuff that we're really proud of. And I think to pin all of, like, our mistakes, errors, misjudgments, atrocities, I mean, you can definitely use the word atrocities, but pin that on her, it's just, I ain't down for that. So, yeah, I don't know. To be honest, like, when it comes to, like, things that are happening on Twitter, just ignore it. I don't give a flip. I don't give a flip what people are saying. They say, don't they, isn't it Wyndham that says revenge is a confession of pain? So I think that, people that are tweeting disgusting things out about her are only confessing that they're, hurting over whatever. But I think that she was actually a shining light. She was something that we can hold up and be proud of, and something that can be like a bit of a, she's a loss to the world. I mean, all you got to do is look at what various different people are saying, different leaders around the world. So, yeah. A downer, definitely. A big downer. Going Go said, hope you're well. How do you feel about Nate's fighting Tony? I feel like it is much better to fight Chimaev than it would be bad for Nate. I feel like it would be better fight Chimaev would have been bad for Nate. It's a better fight. Yeah, I agree. The whole thing's better. I think Tony Nate is a lot closer than Chimaev Nate. So I think that's a better fight. I think that Rodriguez against Li Jiang, Jiangling, sorry. I think that's a better fight. To be honest, I don't think they're very exciting. Well, they're exciting, but I don't think they've got any name value. So putting them two against each other makes sense. And then that leaves Chimaev and Kevin Holland, who squared up backstage. So, yeah, that's a better fight as well. So I think the whole card is better, to be honest. I think the whole card is better. Edward says, I don't like the Royal Family. Okay, well, I'll stop there then, because I'm not interested. Gavin said, I'm disappointed that Braun isn't a part of Judgment Day. Brenton says, shout out to you. What are your thoughts on pay-per-view shows in weird locations like empty arenas, Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, JC and Last even brought up Inoki New Japan Jungle Fight. What's my thought on weird locations? I'm totally for it if it is like credible and cool and works. And I mean, to be honest, the motorcycle one, it's a cool visual, but I don't know. I don't remember them being a great crowd. I think like they were all on their bikes and it looked visually amazing. But yeah, I mean, look, optics, it was different. It was different. It's worth doing. But I wouldn't make that like, say, an annual thing. I think that you can like try lots of different things. I must admit, I loved the venue for Lucha Underground. And that was inside what looked to be like a warehouse. But it was a bit like a studio TV setting, but they decorated it all to feel a bit Aztec and like it was kind of cool. So yeah, I don't mind. I really don't mind. I actually have commented quite a few times that I think just the normal arenas are just dull. But when you've got stars the size of Ronda, Brock, Roman, people like that, like you can't really afford to go to smaller venues. Like you need to be packing in as many people as possible. You need to generate as much income as possible, and maybe that limits some of your options in regards to different venues, you know? Unless you was to do like a little third show, like NXT, for example. NXT could be perfect for that. NXT doesn't have to be in the Performance Center all the time. Why not do an NXT from a water park? Why not do an NXT from, I don't know, Gatorland or whatever, where you can have like wildlife in the background, a bit of a swamp in the background or something. That could be cool. That could work. But I think when you come into like bigger stars that have got a bigger audience, then it's going to be a bit trickier then. It's going to be a bit trickier. Genius of Kai, brackets, Creed, said, you missed my last super chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try and go up. I'm trying to catch up with what I can. Drew versus Solo leaked for the main event. No DQ. That's interesting. That makes sense as well. He got involved, didn't he, in the match? So that does make sense. So, yeah, I can totally see that being the case. And as you say, it's leaked, is it? Okay, that's cool. Thank you for that. Creed, hope you're well, buddy. Wrestler with Andy said, when do you think Charlotte returning? Would love to see her back with a changed theme song. When do I think Charlotte's returning? When do I think Charlotte's returning? I thought she'd be back, to be honest. I thought she was going to be back at Clash. I suppose there's an outside chance that she could be back tonight, but I did think that she would be back at Clash. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's that far away. I don't think it's that far away at all. In fact, there's maybe even an outside chance that Charlotte comes back and worms her way into that Fatal 5-Way, and then we get Charlotte Liv at Extreme Rules. I'm going to say that that's unlikely because, you know, it's got to be seen as unlikely that she's back on this show, and then even more unlikely she gets into that match. But I would say there's an outside chance that she could. I would say there's like a 10% chance that she could do that. Because I think Charlotte versus Liv is a pay-per-view worthy match, of course it is. So if that Fatal 5-Way was to become a Fatal 6-Way or a 6-pack challenge, then Charlotte would stand a chance maybe of winning that and facing Liv. But I don't think it's that far off. Maybe if she doesn't come back today, she comes back at Extreme Rules. And, you know, Liv gets the victory over whoever at Extreme Rules. And then here's Charlotte Flair. So you could go that way as well. Gavin said, should Seth win a title soon? Hard to say. I mean, I personally would put the WWE title on him. I would put the WWE title on him because I think that he can then drop that to Cody at WrestleMania. And I think that we need to separate the belts. It's getting to the point where it's boring talking about it now, but we think the belts will be separated. WWE title go into Raw, Universal Championship on SmackDown, WWE title go into. I'm thinking Seth makes a lot of sense. I know a lot of people probably want it on Drew now, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. If you've got someone that you want to see be champion, that's a good thing. So I think if there's any kind of future UK show, then we could look to put the belt on. Drew. So like a UK show, maybe in Scotland, which would be brilliant. That and would make more sense than doing it in Cardiff. So, I mean, look, it was a downer that Clash ended the way it ended, but we move forward now and we try to find a way of using that to our advantage. And I think one thing we've got is a lot of people are maybe more on board with seeing Drew be champion because they know that he was cheated and they know that he is a rightful champion. He's someone that, I mean, we all saw the Claymore, the 1, 2, and then the ref get pulled out of the ring. So it feels like Drew is the rightful champion or should be champion. So I think what that means is you can always pull the trigger with him at some point in the future. Roman Reigns is advertised for Extreme Rules. Will he face at Crown Jewel? Roman Reigns is advertised for Extreme Rules. Who will he face at Crown Jewel? That doesn't even make sense. Roman Reigns is advertised for Extreme Rules. Who will he face at Crown Jewel? I mean, he's not advertised. I don't believe he's at Extreme Rules. So I don't know if he's on the poster or anything, but I wouldn't read into any posters. Posters are just irrelevant, to be honest. They just literally get images of the top stars and put them on the posters. I mean, the only thing that I would say with a poster is if you've got one face on it and that person is definitely not going to be there, like say Charlotte, say, you know, or Big E. Big E's injured. He's definitely not going to be there. Then, you know, you wouldn't probably use that image. But any other image that are on a poster or images that are on a poster, I really, really wouldn't read into them. We've had some mental posters in the past. Mental posters where there's been images of people that are on that show. In fact, on a regular basis. So, yeah, I wouldn't read too much into posters. Sometimes they're interesting, but Edward said, I had a major family problem. My brother got bottled. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And I had a fight, but I'm okay now. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that things got moody round your way. Moldy, shout out to you. Brenton said, I would like another show on an aircraft carrier, like when Luger slammed Yoko. What are your memories of that? My memories of that are, it's one of my favourite kind of moments. I think the fact it was on an aircraft carrier was made it stand out. I don't believe there were matches. If there was, I'd love to see them because I've never seen any matches from that show. I believe it was literally just the body slam challenge. But to be honest, I don't know that they've ever released that as its own thing. There was never a DVD or a VHS of just what happened on the ship. All they did was they filmed it and then showed the highlights of it on Raw. On the network, I've got a feeling that there is a bit of a show, but I think it's like half an hour long, and I think it's just people trying to slam Yoko. I can't remember any matches from that. But obviously there was a lot of NFL stars, a lot of wrestlers. Looks like everyone had tried. And then the helicopter comes and lands. Out steps Lex Luger, and he was a heel at the time, but he actually came out in a Stars and Stripes shirt. And that kind of showed everyone, just without even him saying anything, that he was there for America. And which was clever. Again, clothing, clever. So he was there. People were cheering him on, even though he was a heel. He was the last hope. As much as a heel as Lex Luger was, Yokozuna was a bigger heel. And he was like a foreign menace. So he steps in, smashes him with the plate that's in his forearm, scoops him up, slams him down, jumps up. Crowd goes crazy. It's such a great moment. I mean, they built that moment so well. Such a very creative, and really set the scene for SummerSlam 93, as we said, and then SummerSlam 93 doesn't win the title, but yeah, honestly, one of the best little side shows that they've ever done. And to be honest, I love those little side shows. They did one not long ago. Do you remember the Shield's Last Stand? Nowhere near as good. That was just in an arena, and it was just like a one-off show, not a pay-per-view. It was like a network special where they had the Shield compete together for the last time, and that was its own little show. But as I said, not really comparable to what happened on the USS Intrepid, but still, I love those little side shows. You had like the Super Bowl halftime thing. We've had Shield's Last Stand, Beast in the East from 2015 when Brock went over to Japan and they did a little WWE show in Japan. If you've never seen that, it's got like Kevin Owens against Finn Balor for the NXT title. It has a triple threat Paige versus Nikki versus Tamina for the women's title. Jericho, God, I can't remember. Oh, Jericho versus Neville. So Jericho versus Pac opens that show. So there's about 5 matches. Brock took on Kofi, and it's very one-sided. The rest of the New Day come down. He beats them all up. But it's I love those little sideshows. I wish they would do more of those. Anna said, Freddie Prinze Jr. podcast said that Tyson Drew sing-along should have been for the crowds, not us. Someone forgot to say cut and never got the graphic. I can believe that. I can totally believe that. There have been a few little mistakes like that they've made. I would say that's one of the bigger mistakes. But there have been a few little mistakes like that. One of the other ones that comes to mind is when Io Shirai came up to the main roster, and out of nowhere, Corey Graves was just calling her Io Sky, and he was like, "Oh my God, that's Io Sky," and he was calling her Io Sky. No one has ever called her Io Sky, and he just started calling her Io Sky. It would have been all right if the other commentators were calling her Io Sky, but I think Byron calls it Io Shirai. So there's clearly a miscommunication as to what her name actually is. Corey Graves is saying Io Sky. As he's saying it at SummerSlam, I think the graphic still says Io Shirai. So there's lots of these little kind of production miscommunications, like what are we telling the commentators? What's the graphics saying? I mean, they've happened in the past. I remember doing a debut video not long ago where we looked at Drew McIntyre's debut. And he came in as Drew Galloway, which is his real name. And apparently just before he walks out, Stephanie McMahon says to him, "Is this your real name?" And he says, "Yes." And she's like, "We've got to change it now." And so as soon as she realizes it's his real name, they quickly try to find a brand new name for him. And it's literally before he's about to walk out. And actually, if you watch his debut, he gets announced as Drew McIntyre with a Drew McIntyre graphic on screen. But the screen in the background still says Drew Galloway because they changed it so last minute. It was like they only realized at the very last second that was his real name. So this isn't like anything that's new. But I would say the fact that it's happened so close to Vince going is interesting and maybe points to a few little things they need to iron out. But yeah, certainly like the show ending with that sing song and maybe we weren't meant to see it. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. So I can't believe that, Anna. I can definitely believe that. It never felt quite right. It was so random. I mean, even at one point, Drew said, "I don't even know if we're on air, but let's try this," and started singing Oasis. And he was like, "I don't even know if we're on air," and he had his back to the camera as well. Like there were things happening at the end of Clash that were just so random. You go like, I can totally believe we weren't meant to see it. Totally believe. Drew having his back to the hard cam is just one of the biggest no-nos. When did they ever do that? When did they ever turn their back to the hard cam? But he had his back to the hard cam and he was looking at the crowd kind of behind the ring and started a sing-along just randomly of Oasis. So the whole thing, the ending was so random. So random. Life of Daz says, "Hey buddy, SmackDown should be good tonight." Yeah, looking forward to it. I would like to. I would like to have a bit more info as to what we're getting tonight. I mean, I can understand them not giving us much info for Raw, but for SmackDown, I would have thought they could have given us a little bit more. You know, they've only given us a couple of little segments. I'd have to think they know what the show is by now. So it'd be good to know if Roman was going to be on it. If Drew's on it, they could have announced that. They could have said Drew will speak about what happened at Clash, but they haven't advertised any of that. So a little strange, a little bit weird, but even so, I'm looking forward to it. So Life Dash, shout out to you. Brenton said, to your point about the motorcycle rally, people like Kevin Nash hated that. Nash said the experience was horrible. It was done because Bischoff liked motorcycles. Was done too many times. I mean, the optics of it, I think, look good and different. And I think actually make the product more exciting because where are they going to go next? What are they going to do next? You see, the thing is, that's a big thing that misses with Raw and SmackDown. Like tonight, we're not sat here going, wonder what the show's going to look like. I wonder what this is going to feel like. I wonder what the atmosphere is like. We never say that because every Raw, every SmackDown is just pretty much exactly the same. It feels like they just come from the same arena every week. So I do feel like that's something they could mix up potentially. But as I said, hard to do with your main roster because, you know, to find different interesting venues that can still house 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,000 plus people, I would imagine is quite a challenge. That's why I think NXT might be better because you only need to find places that can house, 500, if that. I have no idea how many people go to watch NXT at the Performance Center, but can't be any more than 500. And I would imagine finding different venues, and certainly in Florida as well, which has got lots of different things going because it's obviously very tourism focused. I would imagine that you could find some fun stuff. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't do it all the time. Life of Daz said, WWE on a big sky glass TV blows me away. Darcy said, have you heard that Meltzer rated Sheamus Gunther 5 stars? I'm not one that cares, but 5 stars seems rare. Do you agree with it? No. I don't agree with that because I love Gunther and I really enjoyed that match. But for me personally, when it's 5 stars, you know it's 5 stars. Now, for many of you, it might be 5 stars, but it never quite reached that level for me where I was like, yeah, that's 5 stars. It's very rare for me to kind of get that feeling. But saying that, getting a 5-star match should be quite rare. So I'm quite happy with how I score matches. And it obviously works for me and for what I look for. And of course, Dave Meltzer's going to be looking for different things. But I don't know. Can we? It just keeps coming back to the same old thing. Undertaker versus Shawn, 4.75. Gunther versus Sheamus, 5. Like, I can't sit here and tell you that Gunther versus Sheamus is better than Undertaker versus Shawn. And honestly, I've seen a lot of Gunther matches. I don't even think that's as good as previous Gunther matches that I've seen. There was a lot of chops, a lot of strikes, both of them Red Raw. I would need to rewatch it, but I mean, I watched it at the time, and at the end, didn't think it was 5 stars. There were certainly people that did, but I've seen better Gunther matches. I've seen more dramatic Gunther matches. So, yeah. I mean, look, for me, I've said before, the Dave Meltzer scale, I think, is good, because if you want to, at the end of the year, look at the matches he's rated the highest, I would say those are going to be amongst the best matches. I think he's accurate with awarding stars to the better matches. But do I agree that a 5-star for him is a 5-star for me? No. Would I agree that a 4.5 star for him is a 4? No. I would say I'm probably about half a star out from him, if not even sometimes a bit more. So yeah, it was a great match. I think it may have been the match of Clash, although saying that, I really enjoyed the main event. I thought the main event might have just pipped it, actually. But it's between those two. I think it is, relatively close between those two. But no, I mean, he's saying that I mean, I don't think he gave any match at WrestleMania 5 stars, so he's saying that that's better than Cody and Seth. I don't know that he's given Cody and Seth 5 stars this year, has he? He might. I don't know what he gave the Hell in a Cell one. He might have given that 5, but I don't think he gave their first 2 matches 5, and I don't even know if he gave their Hell in a Cell one 5. So again, are you telling me that that's better than them? No. For me, Meltzer, he's lost his way. That's the only way I can put it. He's lost his way. I'm not totally down on this. I do not begrudge Gunther Sheamus being given 5 stars, but I can't sit here and moan about what he's doing with AEW and some of the star ratings he's giving AEW and say he's completely off with them, but then sit here and go, yeah, he's nailed that. He's nailed the WWE one. Like, no, I think he's just off. I think he's off. I think he's off on AEW. I think he's off on WWE. I think the star ratings just really seem to be getting further away from what I think. But this one, I did think was a very, very good match. I can't remember what I gave it, but it was in the 4s. I was in the 4s, but I wasn't 5. There would be no AEW without Dave Meltzer, says Gordon. He was the one who bet Cody and Young Bucks couldn't do a pay-per-view to sell out 10,000 arena, so they did all in to prove him wrong. The Hell in a Cell was 5 stars. So he gave that one 5, but then he didn't give the first 2 5. See, I personally prefer the very first match. I think that including the moment where Cody comes back, so Cody comes back and then the match they have, I think that as a package, because it's very hard to separate those two things, because Cody was the mystery person. So I think all of that as the package is, for me, is 5 stars. Hell in a Cell, I didn't think was quite 5 stars. I actually think the psychology of the Hell in a Cell one is just a little bit off. I mean, you've got the matches between Seth and Cody were so close. You just could not separate them. You could not separate them. Like, Cody he won the first match. He won the first match because Seth wasn't prepared for him. So the second match is a prepared Seth, and it's so close, there's no separating them. And it gets to the point where Seth has to use the tights to try and win. He has to try and cheat to get victory, because you can't separate them otherwise. And actually, he gets rolled back, and Cody cheats and wins, if you remember. And there was a lot of people saying, like, oh, I don't know about that finish. I didn't mind that finish, because this was a prepared Seth Rollins taking on, Cody Rhodes that he already knew was his opponent, and you couldn't separate them. And Seth tried to cheat first, but Cody cheats and gets the victory. That's how close it is. So my problem with the third match is that you have got severely restricted Cody Rhodes. That injury is not allowing him to use this arm. He is basically a one-armed Cody Rhodes. So why the flip does he get given the victory? Why does he get given the victory? He should have lost that match, because the psychology of that is that, I don't understand. Like, a one-armed Cody has managed to beat Seth Rollins. That, to me, was not right. That wasn't right. And for that reason, and a few other bits, I didn't like the cowbell segment. That bit, I wasn't crazy about that section. And there was a few bits that, because of the injury, it was just a little. But I mean, look, the injury is incredible. The match is fantastic. But for that reason, I wouldn't give that 5 stars. I mean, I'm in the 4s. I'm not down on it. I really enjoyed it. But I wouldn't give it 5, because I think the psychology is not quite right. I think that they just got it a little bit wrong. And for me, a 5-star match is perfect. That's perfect. 5 out of 5. I know his scores 5 1/4 and he does all this, but that's nonsense, isn't it? 5 is meant to be 5. 5 is meant to be perfect. 5 is meant to be the top. The sheer fact that he's got a star ratings that even go above 5 is just crazy. So, like, do you know what I mean? Like, for me, 5 is the absolute top. And if I can find flaws in the match and things about the match that don't sit quite right with me, I'm not going to give it 5. So I think he's wrong to give that 5 as well. So I don't pay it much attention anymore. That's the truth. I don't look for his ratings. I don't pay it attention. I did see that he gave it 5. Fine. I'm not that fussed. Right, let's go down. AEW did 1.035. 1.035 coming off the buzz and the pay-per-view fallout. It's worth noting the first 15 minutes did 1.2. Yuta Garcia did 881, nearly 340,000 tuned out according to WrestleNomics. That Pro Ranger, shout out to you. Bill said 150% is kind of stupid. Yeah, I mean, I can understand him wanting to say, well, this 5-star match is better than that 5-star match. I mean, part of me can understand that, but I don't know. It's his ratings just have, as time's gone by, got further away. I used to largely agree. No one would ever fully agree with them, but I've always used to largely agree with them. I always used to be largely either bang on or like a 1/4 of a star out, and I always felt quite in sync, and that's why I put quite a bit of stock into his star ratings. But it really feels like since AEW started, and I can't tell you why. I don't know why. But since AEW started, it just feels like it's gone crazy and completely out of sync. More out of sync than my picture and audio on these streams. Right, let's go down. Did you see BT Sports clip with Damian Priest? I did, yes, I did. Did you do a happy dance? No. I didn't do a happy dance because he's coming back, Jim. So any happy dance would only be followed with a sad dance further down the road. It would be a happy dance if it was a permanent thing. Keaton said, I don't think that Roman-Drew feud is over because Drew said he would deal with Roman on SmackDown at the press conference. This also means that Drew and Roman are on the show tonight, says Keaton. 5-star matches are boring. Negative 5-star matches are better. Rowdy Roddy Piper versus Mr. T at WrestleMania 2. I can't remember what that is, but I've got something in my head is telling me that's a negative star match. There are negative star matches, and I think Roddy Piper, Mr. T from WrestleMania 2 is one of them. Charlie Dempsey needs to do a King Charles gimmick, says Bill. I hope WWE will make a tribute to Queen Elizabeth. There might be a graphic. I'm not sure. Don't know. Premier League's cancelled this weekend, so there's no Premier League. Marshall against Shields, Clarissa Shields against Savannah Marshall, which we were actually, spoiler, gonna do. I never got a chance to set it up, but I've got the thumbnail made. I've got my notes right here. the Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall. So and the co-main. So I actually got my notes done for that, and we were going to do that tomorrow. I was going to set that stream up after this, but it got cancelled. So that one's getting. In fact, it's been mental. So since you last saw me on Wednesday night, I've recorded a toy hunt. Queen has passed away. There's a new king. I've done tons of research. I researched a show that's now cancelled. The research for UFC that I always do is now not irrelevant, but these three fights in particular, have now all changed. The main event, the co-main event, and the co-main event, all different now. So, yeah, it's been since you last saw me. It's been an event. There's been a happening. So yeah, it's pretty random. Pretty random. ITV has been running 2 soaps in the UK since the previous millennium. Coronation Street premiered in the 1960s. Emmerdale premiered in the 1970s. I actually didn't know when Emmerdale premiered, but yeah, I did know. Obviously, everyone knows. Well, everyone in this country knows Coronation Street. Right, we are up and running with Clash. The entire roster are closing the show with a rendition of God Save the Queen. I don't know. I don't think. Well, I know that you don't sing that now. I don't know. Would it be God Save the King that they would do? Actually, don't know. I know the song has changed. It is now God Save the King. So all the sporting events, I mean, you're still going to get people singing the wrong one because 70 years people have been singing God Save the Queen. Now it is God Save the King. God Save the King. Da-na-na-na. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be all right. It'll work. I've just checked it out. It works fine. It is God Save the King. They did it today. On TV, they were singing God Save the King. Yeah, it is God Save the King. It does change. But my point was, if they're singing it in respect to the Queen, they might sing God Save the Queen. In respect to the Queen, because they're singing about the Queen. If they're singing the new national anthem, then it's God Save the King. I had Shields winning. As well, yes. What are your feelings on Queen dying? Would WWE do it? Would they, have a graphic? Don't know. No graphic. In all fairness, though, I don't think she did wrestle with WWE. I don't think she had much of a professional wrestling. I don't think she had much of a professional wrestling career at all. So I wonder if she'll get a mention. I saw that the Yankees had an image up of her, and to my knowledge, she never played baseball either. Yeah. I'm here to tell you the truth, and I'm... Did he say I'm looking fine doing it? So Corey Graves is going to be on SmackDown for the next few months. Marshall Shields has been postponed till the 15th. It's not cancelled. Well, it was cancelled for this weekend. Julian says, Unreal Engine, it begins again. Girly girls. Okay. Clash at the Castle gave the Queen a heart attack, says Elicard. It's God Save the King. Prince Charles is in charge as the King, says Hayden. I did see the Queen was a huge fan of Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks. That is true, yeah, actually. Yeah, that is true. Maybe World of Sport can pay tribute to her. How are they going to fit Charles's ears on the pound coin? There'll be a little extra bit that they chuck on. Days is suture boomer using actual paper and pen to write notes. Oh, such a boomer. I was like, who's suture boomer? I was like, is that a new wrestler? Sounds like a lucha. Suture boomer! Okay, we've got Brawling Brutes. Brawling Brutes going to be taking on Imperium. So Imperium are a thing with Giovanni Vinci. Giovanni Vinci. Imperium. Man, Imperium need to mess up, don't they? They need to mess up the Brawling Brutes. I didn't know that they were going to be back. I didn't know if Giovanni Vinci wasn't just doing like a one-off thing. Thoughts on if Umaga was alive, would he be part of the bloodline? I'd think so. Yeah. I would think anyone, well, no, I'm wrong, aren't I? I was going to say anyone that was part of that family would be in it, but Naomi isn't. The women haven't been included. To my knowledge, all the guys are, though. Why hasn't Gunther got custom side plates? He's been a champ for a while now. Don't know what are his side plates, just random WWE ones. I don't mind that. This side plate thing is a relative new phenomenon. It's not something that we used to do. Bret Hart never got side plates. Hogan never got side plates. This side plate idea, I don't know. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps people like it. Perhaps it's something people enjoy. They don't do that in any other sport, though, do they? I mean, I'm trying to think. They don't do that in UFC, like side plates. Do you like that Braun is back? Yeah, I don't mind Braun being back. Side plates were made by WWE Shop to make more money, said DFS chief. When did you find out the news about the Queen? So, well, I was awake as news was coming in that she wasn't well and the family were going to see her. And there was a lot of talk of butchers in. There was a lot of talk that she was in a bad state. You know, they issued that statement saying they're concerned for her health, and they never do that. So you sort of knew, like, well, this is serious. And to be honest, I looked at it and thought, I wonder if she's got like a couple of days or something. So I went to bed, not knowing, what was going to happen, obviously. Had I have known that, in a few hours it would be announced, I would have stayed up. But I don't know. I thought like maybe they've sent the family because she's got like a few days left. So I went to bed anyway. And I remember waking up and I could hear my mum and my brother were downstairs. I could hear them talking. And I just caught them saying something like, well, what will happen now is... And I just caught that. And it was enough to make me go, what does that mean? What will happen now is... It's like, that's an interesting sentence, isn't it? To overhear, well, what will happen now is... So I checked my phone and then that's when I saw the news. But then as I said, I just went back to sleep. I went back to sleep because I thought, well, what are they going to do? I mean, like, do you know what I mean? What are they going to be showing you on TV? They're not going to show you a body, are they? What? There's not really any reason to get up. And when I did eventually get up, the news was just, total coverage, pictures of her live, pictures of her traveling when she was young, just everything really. But yeah, I just watched that for a bit. So I mean, like the all the stuff is in the coming days. I mean, the funeral is going to be one of the most watched things ever. I mean, who's not watching the funeral? Well, there'll be plenty of people, but there'll be millions and millions and millions and millions of people that watch that, and that'll be shown around the world. So that'll be one of the biggest events I've got to think of all time. So that's in 9 days, something like that. So the funeral will be massive. I still haven't seen Charles's speech from today. I did want to watch that, so I will watch that later. But yeah, just awful news. I really like the Queen. She feels like the grandmother in a way of the world. So yeah, definitely a sad day. Darcy said the Fatal 5-Way is the main event. Do you think Charlotte could return? Yeah, she could return. I don't know that she will. As we said, give it, say, a 10% chance. I thought she would be back at Clash, but she wasn't. Days losing nearly 340,000 by the end of the show is quite a drop. 1.2 to 881. Should Tony do better at placing big segments in the right spot? Sure. I mean, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I mean, I think that he's got so much going on at the moment. Like, he's having to deal with so much. I think he's just tried to put, the show together. I mean, that show is a show he's had to throw together. I mean, those segments, that is not the show that was intended, is it? I mean, I'm sure Kenny would have been on. I'm sure CM Punk would have been on. I'm sure the Young Bucks would have been on. So, he's looked at the people that are available. He's had to actually call in people that apparently were not even meant for that show. He's had to rewrite segments and everything. So, I don't know. To look at that Dynamite and kick him over that. Why? There's plenty to kick Tony for. I don't think the ratings for this Dynamite is one, personally. I think he's had to write that from scratch, like last minute. So it is what it is. But I mean, look, he's got a challenge on his hands. And AEW are obviously in a situation that they wouldn't want to be in. So I think if you are anti-AEW, you've just got to be loving right now. I want to say Nash talks about the show in kayfabe commentaries, said in-ring stunk because of the Rock's constantly in the ring from bikes, plus bad changing areas and bad hotel rooms. Junior said this show's ratings will be bad. An 8-man tag, 6-man tag, and a Fatal 5-Way. Yeah, well, it's kind of nice seeing Imperium together. First time we're seeing them. So this, and I don't mind this so much. This is first time we're seeing Imperium on the main roster. And in a way, it kind of makes Gunther even more dangerous, because Gunther can not only have exceptional matches himself, but he's now got a couple of guys in his corner that, are going to be made to look quite good here, I think. I would imagine they'll win this. Suplex by Giovanni Vinci. 1, 2, kick out by Ridge. So, good suplex. Just before we went to commercial break, we had Gunther and Sheamus in the ring. But we didn't actually come back and see those two going at it. Big clubbing blow there by Giovanni Vinci as Ridge goes down to his knees. Gunther's managed to grab him. He's going to look to suplex. Got him up, nice reversal. Joy got him up. Still can't get him up. Big chop there by Gunther as Ridge Holland goes down. Big boot as Sheamus goes down. And a big overhand right to Butch as Butch goes down as well. Butch jumps into the ring. Referee holding him back. So at the moment, we've got Imperium in control. 13 minutes into the show so far. Gio and Kaiser need to dethrone Usos and win the tag title, says Harith. Mason said the UK pay-per-view is cursed. In 92, there was a fire at Windsor, and now the Queen has died. That's true. Yeah, that's true, yeah. 92, that's very true. 92, she said, was one of her worst years, because I think not only was there a fire at Windsor, I think there was a couple of divorces as well in the family. So it's a year that she said was one of her worst years. And then I would have to think she is not that keen on 2022 now. So it's probably better that WWE don't come back over and give us a stadium show. Kick to the head by Butch. Shoulder up by Giovanni Vinci. Legend Killer, shout out to you. My favourite match was Sheamus Gunther. The ovation that Sheamus got made me proud to be a wrestling fan, says Jilly. Brawling Brutes getting pops, I guess their faces after this match. Don't know. I don't know if they are faces. Or if they're... Sheamus has definitely maybe won respect. This feud has definitely got respect for Sheamus. Butch. Gunther goes down. So Gunther is down at the moment. We've just got Giovanni Vinci in the ring on his own. So Gunther on the outside. Giovanni Vinci in the ring. In comes Butch. Butch has got Giovanni. Trying to put him into the corner. Butch goes into the corner. Big boot to the midsection. Boot to the midsection again. Clothesline. Down goes Butch. Imperium in control. And are we going to go to commercial break? Yeah, commercial break. Dark Knight said Prince William will be 80 before WWE come back to the UK, and Vince will still be pulling the strings with post-it notes on Triple H's fridge. Junior Thomas said, knowing Triple H's history, do you think he is more likely to compete with AEW unlike Vince? What do you mean by compete? I don't know what you mean by compete. Like, they are on different days. I don't think they're going to put shows on a Wednesday. I don't think they're going to put anything to go up against AEW, but I suppose they could, but I don't think they will. So, I don't know. I mean, if you mean compete by putting on pay-per-views the same weekend as like AEW pay-per-views, we just saw that happen, but I don't think they moved Clash. I think Clash, I just think that was a good weekend. It's a good weekend to, like, you know, put on wrestling. Start of the month, people have been paid. You know, you always have to take that into account. People are going to be a bit more open to maybe subscribing to Peacock if they haven't already. And so, yeah, I think that weekend just worked. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to. I don't know how they're going to compete, or like what they're going to do to. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to compete. I kind of feel like. I don't know. If AEW move and go into a time slot up against Raw or SmackDown, it doesn't matter if it was Triple H or Vince. Like, they would compete. They would battle. That's their time slot. That's their territory. But I don't know that they're going to specifically go after them or anything. Big Time Baxter says, have you gotten your passion for NXT? Because Meltzer reported NXT has been doing higher ratings since Triple H is back. A lot of Lapsed fans have come back. No. Nothing to do with Meltzer. Nothing to do with ratings. I started watching again. And to be honest, I don't think this week's show was that great. So saying I've got my passion back for NXT is not quite right. I watched Heatwave because it was a good card. I thought they put on a good card for Heatwave, and I was interested to see some of those matches. And so I checked out Heatwave and I really enjoyed the show. I thought the show was really good. And so then it was like, okay, well, let's see next week, see how that goes. Watch next week, and that was good as well. I really enjoyed that week's show. I think that was the Wendy Chu, Tiffany Stratton Lights Out match. That was the main event, and I thought that show was good. And then I have to admit, I don't know if this week's the week after or if we've had a couple of weeks, but this past week was not great. It was all right. It wasn't great. So the jury's out, to be honest. The jury's out. I'm waiting for NXT to show the improvements that the main roster has shown. And I can't say that it's quite done that yet. I mean, we've just brought in NXT UK stars. I mean, having Miko on the show is an advantage. Miko being there is a positive. And we'll watch next week and see how it goes. But I think, to be honest, I just don't think Shawn's booking is as good as Triple H's. I think that might be what it's coming down to. I just don't think Shawn Michaels can book as well as Triple H. They're chanting, "We want Sheamus." We're back to SmackDown. 20 minutes gone. Sheamus coming in. Sheamus all fired up. Kicks coming in by Butch. And again, Butch firing in kicks to Gunther. Butch landing on his feet, but stumbles back in the corner. Gunther charging over. Butch moves out the way. Gunther's getting over, and he's going to make the tag. Tags in Giovanni. Giovanni comes over, and he grabs Butch, stops Butch from making the tag. Butch trying to reach, trying to make that tag. Giovanni Vinci is trying to make the tag as well. They're both in the center. Oh, step up in Zaguri. Giovanni Vinci goes down. That should allow Butch to make the tag. I missed the Clash stream. How did you like Riddle Rollins? Didn't hear much about it, but I thought it would steal the show. I like Riddle as a wrestler, although he has been but bad. I thought that it did all right. I think the expectation was high for Seth and Riddle. And I think that you could argue that it either just met that expectation or just fell short. It did not exceed the expectation for me. I went into that thinking it had a real chance of stealing the show, and it didn't steal the show. It wasn't as good as Sheamus Gunther. It wasn't as good as the main event. For me, it's the third best match on that show. Look at this. Sheamus is going mental. Absolutely raining shots down. Massive clubbing blows by Sheamus. Sheamus grabbing Giovanni Vinci. Rolling senton. Forearm strike. Sheamus is trying to take out all of Imperium on his own. White noise. White noise. Ludwig Kaiser gets white noised onto Giovanni Vinci. Absolutely on fire. Crowd's cheering. Crowd loving Sheamus. Big boot. So Bro connects on Giovanni Vinci. Roll up 1, 2. Kick out by Sheamus. Sheamus coming over. Grabs the leg of Ludwig Kaiser. Kick by Ludwig Kaiser. He gets picked up. Planted down. In comes Ridge. Ridge. Lariat to the back of the head. 1, 2. And a chop by Gunther. Gunther makes the save. Gunther and Sheamus face to face. And these two going away, throwing in shots at each other. And now we've got Giovanni and Butch. And we've got Ridge and Ludwig Kaiser. It's a really fun match, this is. Who is the dominant faction? Well, it's Bloodline. But other than Bloodline, Knee strike by Sheamus, and Gunther goes down. Kick to the midsection. Elbow to the back of the head. Goes for a clothesline ridge. Charges into Kaiser. Kaiser goes down. He's grabbing a hold of his knee. But, look at the strength of Giovanni Vinci. Brainbuster. Massive boot on the outside by Gunther. It's an absolute war. If you're someone that likes faction wars, if you're someone that likes to see factions battling for dominance, that is exactly what this match is. This is not a boring six-man tag match at all. This is like as good as a six-man tag match would get. I mean, this is two factions absolutely going after each other. The Imperial Bomb finishing move gets the win for Imperium. That's the right result. Get your scores in for that match. That is a great match. Great match, says Jake. Imperium with the victory, and I believe that's the right result. Failure is not an option. That was so good. Solid 8. 8.95, 5 out of 5, 4.75 out of 5, 4.5 out of 10. What a fun match. 5 out of 5, 9.7. Bill says 4, 7-ish, 8.5, 4.75, 5 out of 6, 4.45, 8.5, 4.5, 4, 9 out of 10. What do you think about the new UFC card? I think it's better. I don't know if it results in more people tuning in, but Solo Sikoa joins the Bloodline. We've got that coming up next. 7.8. Seems like people are around that kind of 4.8 mark. The world lost a legend. Wow, there is a graphic for Queen Elizabeth. It's kind of strange wording. The world lost a legend. She's a legend. A legend. As soon as he worded that, I was like, oh, who was it? Who passed away? The world lost a legend yesterday. Legend! All right, Queen, you legend. Well, that's nice. I mean, look, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice. Now the Imperium is back together. Do you see Triple H putting a stop to Kaiser losing? Seems goofy having Gunther treat his second in command like dirt so quickly. Reminds me of MJF Wardlow breakup teases. I hope they put a stop to Kaiser losing. Yeah. I'm not a fan of... I just don't think that they should be looking weak. I don't think the Usos should look weak. There's times where the Usos are made to look like idiots being, I mean, look at Drew beating up both the Usos and Sammy on his own so that he could then, get them out the picture for Clash. I mean, that just didn't make any of them look great. So, I would like for that kind of stuff to stop, to be honest. I don't mind him taking them out individually, and that could have been better. Imagine if, they were backstage, one was in catering, one was in a locker room on their own, and he took them out one by one. At least that would have been a more credible way of doing it. But him just coming down and beating all three up on his own was just a bit, jeez. But yeah, you're right. The same with Gunther and Ludwig. Ludwig's been taking some L's, hasn't he? Mr. Clark said that was a decent match. What are your thoughts on Gunther Sheamus getting 5 stars? We spoke about it. I don't agree with it. I didn't think it was a 5-star match. But then I'm finding myself agreeing less and less with Dave Meltzer these days. So yeah, I didn't think it was a 5-star match. But I don't begrudge it them. I mean, I feel like Gunther has had 5-star matches in WWE and is one of their best performers. And that moment that Sheamus had where the crowd were cheering him, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I don't begrudge it, Gunther. I don't begrudge it, Sheamus. It's not something I look at and, think's disgusting or anything like that. But equally, I don't agree with it. I missed Clash. I answered that one. It was a nice tribute to put the graphic up of the Queen, says Hayden. I just dropped by to hear if you heard the new main event said something about 420. I did. Yep. I'll change we are doing the stream tomorrow and I will change the graphic and everything. I like it. I think they're better matches. I think that, Diaz against Chimaev. I think Chimaev was like minus 1,800 favorite. I actually don't know what the new odds are going to be, but Diaz Ferguson is going to be a lot closer than Diaz against Chimaev. So that's going to be interesting. And you know what? There was a few people that I heard saying that Diaz could want to stick a finger up to UFC because it's his last fight. And so he might want to stick a finger up and say, screw you kind of a thing. And Ferguson really needs a win. So there's a bit of intrigue actually in that main event. Like, how much is Diaz going to go and care? I don't know. I know he's very proud. And I know that he's going to want to win and get the winner's bonus and everything. So does he go for it? Or because it's his last fight and he doesn't care about UFC and he just wants out of his contract and he feels like they've mistreated him, could there be a little bit of him just not giving his all and first opportunity tapping out? I don't know. I don't know. There was people saying that when it was him against Chimaev, he'll tap out at the first opportunity. I don't know. I just don't know what to expect now. It's good. Here's the Usos. What does this mean for Sammy? Hearing the Usos talking about Solo is going to be good, isn't it? Hearing the Usos talk about Solo Sikoa, it's going to be interesting. Right, we have got Imperium beats Brawling Brutes. Day one-ish. Solo joins I'm not a religious follower. What happened with UFC press conference? I saw Dana announce it was cancelled. There was a backstage fight, basically. It wasn't even between the two main eventers. It was like one of the main eventers and someone on one of the matches a bit lower down the card. There's a bit of pushing, shoving. And then bottles started getting thrown and there was quite a few people involved and it was a mess. Right, we're going to hear from the honorary Us. Will Solo be like Jimmy or Jay to honorary Us? Don't know. Throw those ones up. Jimmy's got the ones up. Jay does not. Are you feeling it, Us? Yeah! Jay's not feeling it. Jay's not feeling it. We do have some serious things to talk about. Growing up as a young honorary Us. Your tribal chief is still undisputed. Booze for Roman. I love the tribal chief so much. Roman will destroy everyone. Sammy's on fire. Sammy's a lot of fun, man. Lisa, shout out to you. Put their wands to the sky. The newest member of the bloodline. The street champion. Our younger brother. Solo. Sikoa. Solo, Sikoa. I like this. It's all dark. Here's Solo. Younger brother, Solo, Sikoa. It's all dark. There was like lasers shooting out. Oh, that looks better. That looks better with his... He looks a bit like Taz with the towel over his head. They're just showing footage of him in NXT. Street champion. Solo has to join the bloodline. I hope that Rikishi is proud. All three of his sons are on the main roster. Hypothetically, would you like a weekly UFC show? There is a weekly UFC show. It's on like pretty much every Saturday. It's just fight night. So they tend to do one each week, and then once a month they do the big pay-per-view. Booze for Solo. It's going to be very interesting to see what Solo's got to say. Loud boos for Solo. I'm not crazy about his music. I think they could give him some better music, but... Loud boos. Loud boos. You come for my family, I will come for you. You create problems, I finish them. Solo Sikoa is here to stay. And the bloodline got bigger and stronger. Here's Drew. Here's Drew. Drew's going to make his way down. Drew's coming down with a chair in his hand. No sword, just a chair. Making his way down. He's looking very focused, and he jams that into the midsection of Solo Sikoa. Ah, Sammy. Sammy takes the bullet again. He pushes Solo out of the way. The honorary Oos takes the chair shot. The honorary Oos takes the chair shot. Sammy takes the chair shot. What a legend. I want you tonight, says Drew. So, Sammy takes the chair shot. But Drew said he wants the honorary use. He wants Solo tonight. This is going to be tricky, isn't it? Because you can't have Solo losing. He's only just arrived. Drew holding up the chair. Solo fears duo healthier. It'll only come for you if it's a premium live event, says Bill. Sammy is awesome, said Awaken the Dreamers. Sammy the Bodyguard, said Zoom Station. Darcy said, I love seeing the Bloodline take advantage of Sammy. If this doesn't get months of build with Sammy eventually rebelling and somehow dethroning Roman, I will be sad. Nunu said Sammy is loyal. Scott said, I thought Roman was on the show tonight. Seemingly not. You mean Drew versus Bloodline? Well, he's taking on Solo, isn't he? He called out Solo. PW reported it will be the main event and no DQ, says Jessam. James said, Triple H's decision, but I'm damn sure wouldn't put Solo with the Bloodline. He was good enough as his own character. And speaking of Solo, where is Boa? Haven't seen Boa, have we, for quite a while? I mean, personally, I'm not too sad about that, but I have no idea. I don't know if he picked up an injury or something. Sammy and Kevin Owens to win the tag title, says Ian. KO and Sammy one day beat the Usos for the title, says On. Solo will come for you only if your back is turned, says John. It already has got months of build with Sammy and the Bloodline, says Shannon. I like that call-ups are canon now, not complete character changes, says Anna. Braun and Drew are friends. What if Braun helps Drew against the Bloodline, says Larry. Well, we are seeing Braun tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see what he is on this show for. I mean, he randomly attacked the tag teams, which was random, and I don't know what he's going to look to do on this show, so we'll find out. He's got his own segment coming up. Don't know when that is. What is your current favorite wrestling theme song? Mine is MJF's, says Tortnight. I don't know that I have one, to be honest. I mean, I do like Sammy's. I've always been a fan of Sammy's. I've always liked Bianca's. I think it fits her really well. So I like Bianca's. I like Sammy's. I like FTR's. FTR's I was not into at first, I will admit, but it has grown on me. It has grown on me. So FTR's is one that's grown. And I think what else? I like Asuka's as well. I've always liked Asuka's. I think that really fits her. So there's a few, but I don't know that there's any that I'm like, oh, crazy about, you know. MJF just tweeted. What with his ones up? I was at Cardiff and it was loud, said Jimmy. Junior said, who would you say needs to be in the Hall of Fame? My pick is Lex Luger or Ken Shamrock. For years, I always said Vader. I don't know that Kamala is in there. If Kamala isn't, I'd say 100% Kamala. 100%. Big Noon Saturday. Well, that's a bad camera angle, isn't it? What's that camera? Raquel Rodriguez is making her way out right now with Aaliyah. That's a shame. Does Aaliyah not get a graphic? Pat her backside! She did it! She did it! Ah, it's my new favorite team. Yeah! She's got to do that all the time now. Yes! Yes! Just a little bit of a... Oh, I like that as well. I like Aaliyah showing off the guns and then spinning round. Raquel likes it. Look, she's got a little smile on her face. She don't mind. She don't mind. Big fan. She didn't do that last time. Ah, toxic. Don't mind them, but what if they win? Toxic Attraction making their way down. Brian said Brian is here to attack. Braun is here to attack the women's division tonight. Well, he's certainly attacking Raquel Rodriguez if they're still in a relationship, which I believe they are. Okay, so Toxic Attraction are here, so I don't know if this match is going to get much time, but Raquel and Leah versus Toxic Attraction. Raquel and Aaliyah are hot. Days think Solo is going to turn babyface. When you saw Drew coming towards the bloodline, the rest back down except Solo. If we keep seeing this, Solo might feel insecure and not trust them, says Roadman Dutch Joe. Is it for the championships? I don't think so. But if they win, they'll probably get another title shot. I don't think it's for the title. Vince Ropes goes JC. Chop to Raquel. Into the corner goes JC, clothesline by Raquel. So we are up and running face first into the corner. I met D-Lo and Brian Kendrick, and I will meet Missy Hyatt tomorrow, says Lenny. Have fun, dudes. Have fun. Roman said, I tell you what, Days, Raquel can get these hands. She gets Aaliyah's hands. Aaliyah on the shoulders of JC, down on her feet, ducking underneath, against the rope, springboard press. Springboard Thez press. He went after Gigi, but JC drives Aaliyah back in the corner. Kicks coming in. We want Viking Raiders, said Lone Star Friends. 1 Minute Wrestler said, I'm a simp for Aaliyah. What happened with Nate Diaz fight? How come he's fighting Tony Ferguson? No one wants to see that fight. I think it's a better fight, actually. I think it's a closer fight. I think him against Chimaev is very one-sided. Basically, Chimaev didn't make weight. Didn't make weight, so they've had to move a few things around. I met Rhea Ripley the day before Clash, and I almost passed out. Brackets, I am a simp, said Jake. Do you know what? If you are a simp, I have got absolute eternal respect for you if you do then put in brackets, I am a simp. That is amazing. There's not enough simps that own their simpness. They just, if you call them a simp, they get all upset. That's not how the world should work. If you are a simp and you know you're a simp, you should wear it as a badge of honor. So nothing but respect for Jake there. Nothing but respect. I'm pleased that you got to meet her. Gerard said, terrible that Roman's next opponent will be Kevin Owens at Survivor Series. I have got Ronda winning. What about you? I don't know. We've done Ronda already, so I don't know. If we do get Ronda, then I'm thinking maybe Shayna's going to get involved. I think Liv will leave Extreme Rules as champ as well. So if it is Ronda, I still don't think Ronda's going to get the victory. Raquel on the outside. Aaliyah trying to get up to her feet, and she does. Knee to the midsection. She's trying to get over to make the tag. Over into the corner. In comes Gigi. She wants... oh my God, what are these two doing? JC gets thrown into the corner. They made the tag. JC went to the outside. Gigi wanted her to stay in, so she ends up getting back in, but... And all the time, Aaliyah's just in the corner. Shoulder tackle there by Raquel. Clothesline by Raquel. Raquel's been tagged in. All away slam by Raquel. Austin, shout out to you, dude. Appreciate the support. As we are almost, well, about 10 minutes away from half time. Rodriguez slamming down Gigi. Rodriguez. Corkscrew elbow. Shoulder kick out by Gigi. Raquel has looked good, actually, since she came in. She has looked good. Against the ropes goes Gigi. Kick. Tag. In comes JC. Kick to the midsection. Both of these two looking for... Oh, spear! That was nice! That was good by Aaliyah. That was good. Toxic Attraction went to double suplex on Raquel. But Aaliyah with a spear. Massive power bomb and a win. A win for my new favorite team. Yes. Honestly, it's all about the... If they do that little pat at the beginning. Oh, she gives her a kiss. Lots of kisses. She loves her, man, doesn't she? She absolutely loves her. That was good by Aaliyah. She screamed as she did it as well. She's like, ah! I love these. These two are fun. What's she doing? She's got a belt. She's like, yeah. They're the best. She's the best. She's so much fun. How dare anyone stan or simp after any woman that's not Aaliyah? Raquel and Aaliyah win. What are we looking at? I was seeing last week with Ronda. Oh, this was good. This was a good promo. I am hypothetically devastated. He went off, didn't he? GG and JC main roster now. Honestly don't know. They haven't said they're called up. If they call that episode of Raw with Punk a pipe bomb, what do you call his AEW scrum? Disaster. WWE should have Braun with a simp gimmick. Oh yeah, he could simp after Raquel. Don't acknowledge they're actually in a relationship, but yeah, you could do that. Ronda in action. There's an investigation behind the scenes. The Fatal 5-Way elimination match coming up next. I'm going to get Lacey Evans, Sonya, Ronda, Natalia. Okay, so Lacey versus Ronda versus Xia Li versus Natalia versus Sonya. Days since we all simps now. Hopefully we should be. We should all be simping after Aaliyah. I mean, what else does that girl need to do? She's patting Raquel on the backside. She's screaming while she's delivering awesome looking spears. She's constantly kissing Raquel because she's so overjoyed when she gets the belt. She's doing like machine gun fire with the belt. Like, she is living her best life. She is living her best life. I love that girl. Sonya takes the dub. We could do a poll, but the only problem is it only lets me have 4 spots on a poll. It doesn't let me have 5. Who wins? But I can try anyway. Who do we not think's winning? Who isn't winning? And then I'll leave them off. I don't think Natalia's winning. Because we've seen Natalia quite a few times. So I don't think Natalia. We haven't seen much to do with Lacey. So they could go Lacey. We haven't seen much to do with Zaya. They could go Zaya. They could go Sonya. And Ronda's always got to be in it. So I've got to think Natalia. Natalia's definitely no. I agree. Not Lacey. She'll storm off in a tantrum. Have we? That was under Vince, though, wasn't it? I don't know if we're still doing that under Triple H. I would say Natalia. I would say Lacey. My gut is Natalia, definitely no. So I'm going to go with that. It's hard to predict who's winning. But I'm going to say Natalia is not winning. So Lacey Evans, Ronda Rousey. Because it is true, Lacey was storming off, but that was under Vince. I don't know if she's still going to do that under Triple H. We haven't seen much of her, so this would be a good platform for Lacey to get a title opportunity. Same with Xia Li. We haven't seen anything really much of Xia Li, so again, she could win here to give her a pay-per-view match. And don't forget, Xia Li against Liv Morgan, that's a very winnable match for Liv. Lacey against Liv is a winnable match for Liv. So if you want Liv to get a win at Extreme Rules, giving her Lacey, giving her Xia makes sense. Sonya as well, I think she could beat Sonya. The only person here that she should struggle against would be Ronda. Ronda's the only person. Anyone else that wins this, Liv should get the victory. And in all fairness, I think she probably wins against Ronda, but I think it would need to be dirty again. Because she ain't good enough to beat Ronda clean. Who wins? Lacey, Ronda, Xia, Sonya. I've gambled. Anyone but Ronda, says Top Tier. Just imagine if the Wyatt family came back tonight. I wish I got to see Aaliyah slap your back. It's the dream. Darcy said, do you think having won a world title immediately qualifies a wrestler to join the Hall of Fame, regardless of how memorable the reign was? I think if you win a main title, you should go in the Hall of Fame. I can't say that is 100% because I think I would need to know the circumstances. Like if someone held it for a day, maybe not. You see, the thing is, for me, if you have got to the point where you have been seen as being the guy that is worthy to basically be the face of the company, that puts you into a very elite club. There's if you think of every wrestler that has ever wrestled, there's not many that have gone on to become WWE or Universal Champion. So for me, if you do reach that level, then you're in the conversation, definitely. It would just depend on, look, if it was a day, that's obviously different, isn't it? They clearly don't trust you to be the face of the company for like very long, do they? You're just like a transitional champion. So I don't know. I feel like if you've had a decent-ish run, we're talking, a good few months at least, then, yeah. I've made the argument I would put Jinder in. Jinder is the one people tend to throw back at you for that, but I would put Jinder in. I think Jinder has had a lot of longevity. He did have a run with the main title, And even though he is not the most exciting wrestler in the world, I think that for what he did for the Indian people, because don't forget, like, he was given that opportunity because they wanted to reach into the Indian market more. So the impact that he had on that relationship and on that fan base is kind of hard for us to measure. Like, Jinder feels different to us than he does to the Indian fans. You know, for a good chunk of time, the Indian fans had a world champion that, like, you know, they could relate with, and that was big. You know, he was the modern day Maharaja, and we know how big the Indian market is. So I look at that as like, all right, that's not one necessarily for me, but I can see it being one. Oh, look at that! She's wearing a pink gi. Now, I have seen a picture of her wearing a pink gi with Judo Jean LaBelle, yeah? And I just heard Corey mention it. Judo Jean LaBelle. That is a tribute to Judo Jean. That's nice. That's nice. Ronda coming out in a little tribute to Judo Jean LaBelle. There is a picture. Liv in the crowd. Liv no friends. She's not. Liv no mates. Sat in a box on her own. So Ronda with a tribute to Judo Jean. It's nice. And nice that it was picked up by commentary. Ronda on the outside. Shoulder up by Xia Li. This is... So the match has started. No sign of Charlotte. We are underway. Women's right by Lacey. Natalya goes down. Knee strike by Sonya. This SmackDown has been good so far, says NC Dub. Would you like to see Ronda as more of a female Brock booked as an attraction? Yeah, I think so. I don't think... I mean, do you know what? She works actually on quite a regular basis. She's on the show most weeks, and she never gets credit for that. She absolutely could work a part-time schedule. Ah, there we go. Armbar in. Natalya in trouble. And she taps. Yay! Natalya's first one gone. Natalya, the first one gone. Oh, armbar! Look how she got that on. Ah, that was sick by Ronda. That was sick. How she got that armbar on then was sick. Xia Li. 1, 2. So Ronda manages to eliminate Natalya. Roll through. She's grabbing a hold of the arm. Ooh, roll up by Lacey. Oh, good reversal. And now she's going after her arm as well. Dragging her by her arm. That's interesting. So we've got a double submission. They're both done. Sonya gets rid of Xia Li. Ronda gets rid of Lacey. So it's come down to these two. Sonya and Ronda. Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. Both do have MMA backgrounds, but obviously Ronda reaching a much higher level. Looking for a takedown. Nicely defended. Great takedown defense there by Ronda. Fully mounted onto Sonya. Look at the ground and pound coming in now. Half guard there for Ronda. Grabbing a hold of the leg. Roll through. Looking for Piper's Pits. She's trying to get up to her feet. She does. Piper's Pit. No, Sonya holding on. Nice. Looking for a rear naked. Ah! So down. They're both rolling. They go to the ropes. That means that Sonya needs to break the holds. Ah! No rope break. No rope break. So Ronda had to go out of the ring and smash Sonya into the barricades. Chuck her back into the ring. Ronda rolling in. Grabbing the arm. Picking up, looking for Piper's Pit. She's got her up. Puts her away. Now she grabs the arm. She's taking too long. She's taking too long. Just do it. Ankle lock. Ankle lock applied. Ankle lock on Sonya. Oh, drops down. Sonya screaming. Sonya tapping. Ronda wins. Ronda wins. Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Does that mean that Liv is going to beat Ronda clean now to make up for what happened at SummerSlam? Flippity-doo-dah. I don't feel great about it. Ronda says, coming home, baby. It was controversial ending. Ronda deserved a straight rematch anyway. Let's go. Let's go. Let's end the poll. It means that Charlotte's coming back. Charlotte will cost Ronda. Liv Ronda, not that match. Ronda again. Ronda again. 62% of you said that it would be Ronda. That match didn't take that long at all, actually. Me. Oh, here's Solo. This is what you've been waiting on. Staring at Sammy. Sammy took a chair shot, man. This should be respect. I appreciate the help, Sammy. Well, Roman knows what he's talking about. Tonight's not about this, it's about him. I want you to know. Have you noticed the shirts again? So, can you see how Sammy is wearing a Bloodline shirt? And it's the same design as Jimmy, but it is not the same design as Jay. We're all going out there tonight. Halftime scores. Yeah, halftime scores. Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. They buried Lacey, so 6. 10 out of 10, 7 out of 7, 7.756. Solo didn't like Jay's attitude, said Larry. DFS Chief said 7.1. 6 said Dort Knight. 8 says Mark. 6 says Hayden. Jared said Rampage will be better. 8, 8, 5. Deception. Yeah. Yes, Retribution. Who have you got? Liv or Ronda? I've got Liv. I think that. I mean, I would like. I don't think Ronda necessarily wants the title. In real life, I think she's kind of enjoying just having some feuds and telling some stories, and I don't know. I think Ronda is someone that enjoys being loved, which sounds weird. Like, she can work being a heel, but I think she doesn't enjoy it as much. I think she is someone that loves being respected, loves being admired. And, you know, I don't think the heel thing is really her favorite thing. But at the moment, she's getting fairly good reactions. People are fairly with her, but I think she knows that Liv is popular. There's definitely people that are on board the Liv train. And I think she knows that, like, the what happened at SummerSlam didn't massively help Liv. I don't know how they're going to do it. I would imagine that, I agree. I could see it being a case where Charlotte costs Ronda. Don't forget, Ronda won the belt from Charlotte. I don't think have we seen Charlotte since then? So it could be that Charlotte comes back and costs Ronda. That keeps Ronda like looking strong. It brings Charlotte back. It keeps the belt on Liv. I'm leaning that way. I'm leaning that way, to be honest. 9 MMA background. Sonya's MMA background was 3 amateur fights. I saw her matches. I wasn't impressed. She was at best ranked number 14 in California. Liv support is internet based. The crowd never go wild for her. That's true. That's true. I mean, when you say internet based, that is true. But you got to remember that some of those on the internet do go to arenas and take signs, and I've definitely seen signs for Liv, but it is true, when Liv walks out, does the crowd go like bananas? No, they don't. But then saying that, I think that the booking at SummerSlam really hurt that. I think it really hurt that. I feel like I'm largely where the universe is. I don't think people have got a problem with Liv. Because I don't have a problem with Liv. I just have a problem with this title reign. Here's Shayna Baszler. This is interesting. I know you don't need it. Good luck. I can tell you're upset. You know what's better than winning? Revenge. Gonna break some bones and take over the show again. Right, here we go. We got Maxine Dupree, Max Dupree, and Maximum Male Models. Marseille plays that role so well. I like them both, actually. Even Mansoor is good. Mansoor does it really well as well, actually. Those two are very good in this role. Corey Graves said that he submitted headshots, but he hasn't heard anything back. So Ronda says, do you know what's better than winning? Revenge. Hit row. Hit row, hit row. If you know, then you know. Right. Raquel and Aaliyah beats Toxic Attraction. Ronda to face Liv at Extreme Rules. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Street Profits are here then. Toilet break time. When do you think Liv will lose her title? I honestly don't know, because if she can get past, she could keep it. I mean, really, it depends how things go, doesn't it? But she could keep it into 2023. I mean, I think she'll get past Extreme Rules, and then what's after that? Crown Jewel? I don't think she'll lose it there. And she might not have to defend it properly at Survivor Series. So we might be looking at day one. So yeah, I think they're gonna keep it on her for a bit. I think they're trying to build her up as like a proper new main event star. Bum bum ba bum. Right. Maximum Male Models and Los Lotharios versus Hero. Street Profits. A lot of typing, isn't there, for me to do on a Friday? Oh my god. There we go. No toilet break, because the monster amongst men is going to destroy the tag division. Shayna Baszler is underrated. I don't care what others think. She has trained many. She is decent and super funny person in real life, says Lisa. Braun might help Drew later. Cynthia said, though it will take a while to find it on me, my tummy is hiding the pokey poke. Okay. Cynthia, we've all had a drink. Calm down. What's your worst theme song? Mine is Bala, Brutus Beefcake, or Tatanka. Right to Censor was just a siren. That was annoying. I'd say that's worse. Maximum Male Models, to get these hands, said Knight Rider. We are at commercial break. Edward said, did you hear Vince said to Triple H to keep the belt on Roman till at least after Mania, and that's what Vince had planned to do before he retired? I hadn't heard that, no. But I can believe it. If you can get to 1,000 days, that'd be great. We are at commercial break. We've got 44 minutes to go. As soon as we're done with the show, obviously we will go into our post show review. I'm glad we managed to get the audio. I hope that doesn't happen again. Really hope that doesn't happen again. We've got some big streams coming up. We're streaming UFC tomorrow, and that's had a lot of drama today. A lot of drama, so that should be quite interesting. Days, we've been so focused on Sammy being mistreated. Is it possible that Jay is the one that gets alienated from the group and turns on them? I hope not. I don't think splitting up the Usos makes much sense. Will Braun do big man meat sort of things? Yeah, definitely. Liv is a great champion, says Michael. Via Boy Andrew said, wonder what the after show is like. Can't wait for Sammy versus Darby tonight, says Jared. Lisa, shout out to you. Appreciate it. Wonder what the after show is like, chat, or they got to head out. I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean by the after show? What's a matter with Jey Uso? Like, what is his problem? I just don't think he trusts people that are outside the family, which I can understand. If you think the bloodline is all about the family and blood, like, here's Sammy, pretending to be part of their group, like he's an honorary use. What's that? So I think Jay's like looking at it going, blood's thicker than water, man. I don't trust this guy. So, and who knows? I mean, I've got to think there is going to be a split coming. So will it be that Jay was right to not trust him, or is it because of Jay that there'll be a split? But I think, sure, there's going to be a split. What if Conor McGregor filled in for Chimaev tomorrow? That would have. I don't know what that would have done. The only downside with that is that would have cost a lot of money, and they'd have no time to promote it. So how do you get the word out? So I mean, it'd be brilliant for us fans. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it would have made. I don't know if it would have made business sense. Do you want to take chances? 3 out of 4 teen smokers stay smokers. Don't smoke. Yeah, don't smoke. Larry said, I think many are forgetting Braun was a former World's Strongest Man competitor. Matt said, I wonder how The Miz is doing. Ferguson versus Diaz confirmed, says John. Liv Morgan 22 said, is Bianca defending her title against Bayley? Because on Monday she will be defending her title. I think Bianca Bayley is on a they are on a collision course. Whether that's Monday, I'm not sure. I can't remember if they did make that match for Monday. I do like the tag there between Maximum Male Models. Oh, we've got a bit of a best friends thing going on there. So Marseille and Mansoir working together. They turn to the camera. The camera zooms in on them. So the tag was like a finger tag. That's interesting. It's very in character, isn't it? They don't want to hurt each other. That's nice. I like that tag. Jim Cornette will hate that tag, but it fits their characters. I haven't seen much of Maximum Male Models. Angel gets knocked over the commentary table thanks to a Tope Suicina from Umberto. Dawkins is in. Oh, big clothesline. Down goes Mansoir. Over the top goes Dawkins. Oh. Nice shoulder tackle. Elbow. Mansoir in the corner. Splash in the corner. Lovely kick by Dawkins. Marseille is in. Gets picked up. Twisting net breaker. 2. Oh. MMM was casted by us, says casting content. Is Kevin Owens heel or face? Because the fans cheer for him for getting what he did to Ezekiel. I think he's just a badass. So I think he's just cool. I mean, he did attack Ezekiel and beat up Ezekiel, but I don't know how much people care about Ezekiel. I don't know if that's enough to make him heel. But I would say that he's kind of out for himself. He's a bit of a tweener. I think he's leaning more babyface, though. I think they just had him beat up Ezekiel to really get across that this is a new, more vicious Kevin Owens. Top Dollar is in the ring. Top Dollar, holla holla, is going against the ropes. And Maxine Dupree jumps up. B-Fab pulls Maxine Dupree off the edge. Top Dollar kicks Max Dupree. Roll up. Oh, I thought that Marseille was going to get it. Come on. Come on, Maximum Male Models. Crossbody by Mansoir. Top Dollar grabs him. Oh. Back in the corner. In comes Ashanti. Hit row. Drop kick. Oh. Planting down Mansoor, and it's going to be a victory for Hit Row. Victory for Hit Row. Absolute disgrace. So Hit Row and Street Profits beat Maximum Male Models and Los Lotharios. I think Ronda wins only because when was the last pay-per-view she won at? Money in the Bank. She beat Natalia. Michael Cole said you was there on Monday night for the return of Braun Strowman. So we're seeing Braun return on Raw. We've got about 35 minutes left to go. These matches are really putting him over, says Houston. Hit Row and Street Profits win. Just seeing some footage of Braun from the past. Hit Row and Street Profits beat MMM and Los Lotharios. Do you think Solo will win, or maybe Sammy will accidentally cost him the match? I think Drew's winning. It'd be a shame if Sammy costs him the match. Sammy did well earlier taking that chair shot, so if he costs them the main event, that'll be a shame. But I suppose it works for the story. Bigger and badder than before. Strowman's coming. Is he next, is he? Strowman returns. What's the point of Maximum Male Models if Triple H is going to allow them to get beaten and punked out every week? Fun jobbers. 3MB. I think they're just meant to be that. I don't think you're meant to take them serious. Is it not a risky move for WWE to put Liv in a position to get lukewarm reactions and light boos against Ronda, who's been getting positive reactions? Liv has started getting out of that funk. I mean, I've got a feeling that I could be wrong here, but I've got a feeling that they're either going to have a win clean to make up for SummerSlam, which would be horrible, or they'll have some outside interference and Liv will once again find a way of surviving. You see, the problem is, at the moment, everyone feels that Ronda deserves another opportunity, deserves a rematch, because, she won at SummerSlam but wasn't given the victory, or wasn't awarded the victory. So everyone's waiting for Ronda to get her rematch. So in a way, you've got to sort of address it. You've got to do it. Otherwise, that's going to hang over Liv. So do the rematch. But I don't think they're going to have a win. Days is the Maximum Male Model. I wish I was. WWE and their obsession with big men. What's with Bray? Thought he was in negotiations with WWE. No. The most I ever heard was that his name was being mentioned by WWE Creative and they were pitching ideas for his return. But no. There was a report from Slice Wrestling, which just appears to have been complete rubbish now. And then tons of rumors, and fake news and things doing the rounds. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those. Unless it's coming from Dave or Sean, I wouldn't look at it. What Extreme Rules match will Liv Ronda be? Don't know. Might not. Not all of them are. So, I mean, it could be submission only. If it's submission only, I don't know what the flip we're going to do, because If it's submission only and Charlotte interferes, how are we going to have? Because Ronda ain't tapping. I don't even think Ronda would agree to tap. I could challenge for the throne. Queen Sunny, says Sunny. Days, we need Romano to confirm Bray's return. Yeah. Here we go. Right, we are at commercial break. We got half an hour to go. Something big has got to happen. We've still got 30 minutes left, and Braun is the last segment. Well, we've got Solo against Drew. So, Braun and then Solo Drew. Unless it's Sean, I don't look at it. Dave gets right copy and paste from Fightful. Strowman can do good stuff in the ring, so that rules Bray out, says Excellence of Execution. I saw a report that WWE want Ronda to be like a new Brock Lesnar. Be good. I think it'll be a good way to use her. I think she does get a bit overexposed. But I think that's her trying to do the right thing. I really do. She's trying to not be seen as just a part-time performer. Like, she's trying to work as much as possible, and I've got respect for that. But it might actually just be better if she was part-time and saved as an attraction like Brock. Shush, please. Right, we've got Alpha Academy coming out. So, is this going to be a little moment between Alpha Academy and Braun? He did come out and go after them. Well, after the tag division, really, but back on the blue brand. Right where the Alpha Academy were born. So Alpha Academy making their way down. I can tell by that warm response that you missed us dearly. So, thank you! I need you to do one thing. Shush. Shush, please. They're getting some decent heat, actually. They're getting some decent heat. Alpha Academy. Shush, please. Ronda could get knocked out by Charlotte, and Liv puts on a submission, and Ronda loses by knockout. Not if it's submission only. Well, if it's submission only and she's not able to submit because she's knocked out, then I suppose you could have ref stoppage. If he'd seen Braun coming, he would have decimated him. So Otis in the ring. Look at that face. Great face. Big time back estimating will be bad. Too many tag stuff. Too many tag teams have been booked. I think that Shoes Please intro was auto-tuned, says Shannon. Lots of boos for Alpha Academy. Seattle couldn't even hold on to their own professional basketball team. That was the Supersonics. That's got mad heat. The crowd do not appreciate that at all. Big big boos. Look at this heat that Gable's getting. Push, please. Wow, that one really touched a nerve. That one really touched a nerve. Wow. I think he's got more heat than he knows what to do with. Braun! Here comes Braun. Monster. What is it? Monster of all monsters. He's wearing red pants again. Red pants Braun. Imagine if Father Christmas was Braun Strowman. And this is just what he does like the rest of the year round. Okay, so Otis in the ring. Otis and Strowman. Let's get these hands signed. Strowman does look good. Monster of all monsters. The monster is back. Right hand. Big strike again. I don't know how great that right hand looked. It looked a little short. Monster of all monsters. Alpha Academy art. Seattle Space Needle Movers, says Fortnite. Very good. Strowman with a big boot. Down goes Gable. Otis charges into Strowman. Tries throwing strikes to the midsection. Backs up. Charges in. Boom. Two big boys going at it, man. I bet Vince is at home right now going, God damn. This is the good stuff. Now this is wrestling. Bet he's loving it. Bet he's cheering. Look at this, Linda. So he picks up power bombs, Chad. Now he's going to look to power bomb Otis. He's going to power bomb Otis. Corey said, no way in hell. Oh! Bro! The monster is back. He did that for you, Seattle. He did that for the Supersonics. He did it for all the Sonics. He did it for the Supersonics. He did it for Sonic's Restaurants. He did it for Sonic the Hedgehog. It's Kayla. How great will it be for you to get redemption? He's going to start singing. Clash at the Castle should have been the biggest moment of my life. I should be undisputed champ. I'm not for one reason. Solo Sokoa. You had a sing-song though, didn't you, mate? You had a little sing-song. It's nice, wasn't it? Remember the sing-song? I'm sure your head of the table is very happy with you. It's you tonight. You won't like the consequences. There we go, very focused Drew McIntyre. No room for excuses. Easiest heat to get in Seattle. Elias said the same thing a few years ago, and that got nuclear heat, said Esteban. I don't know why. I remember the time when Braun licked the top of Apollo Crews' head, says Connor. Can you shout me out? I know that you can read me, says Beluga 2.0. Done. Jake said, why do you feel like Solo won't wrestle tonight? Don't know. Don't know. They're saying it's happening. And there's plenty of time. Jay for Live 12. Appreciate it, dudes. Hayden said Drew needs to take his own advice and don't look back in anger. Well done, Hayden. Well done. That's good. That's good. Houston said, worst segment of the show. Not that it was bad, but the whole show had been so good. Elias and Owens got heat a few years ago doing that, says Dark Angel. Roman said, why Roman not on the show? Don't know. Well, he works a reduced schedule now, doesn't he? He works a reduced schedule. Remember when Otis beat up Braun, Corbin, Keith Lee, and Riddle at Survivor Series? I do remember. I can't remember. I couldn't tell you exactly who it was, but I do remember him going. He was on a hell of a push, wasn't he? He's on a hell of a run. I don't know. They just kind of have him jobbing out a bit now. They got beat up by Braun on Monday. They got beat up here by Braun. So, although saying that, I mean, we saw Drew beat up the Usos and Sammy last week. So, poor tag teams. That's the bottom line. Poor tag teams. Days, has Drew got a concussion? No, Drew, you're not champ because you got speared and beat and pinned 1, 2, 3. Streaming Rampage tonight? No, we don't do that. We go straight into our review. Shannon said, would you prefer if Braun said, get these ham hocks instead? Only if he actually then produced them and then was genuinely selling them. If he came out and he said, get these ham hocks, and someone was like, I would take one, and then he went over and they entered into a negotiation on price, then yes, I would prefer that. Braun needs to join Maximum Male Models. Bibi Lashley and Alaska Bliss. That's amazing names. What will be next? To be honest, it's not something that I try to do. It's just something that tends to happen. They tend to be beautiful mistakes. So I have no idea. I am not clever enough to just come up with those names. Arn said, everyone was sick when Lesnar was part-time champ, and now the same with Roman. Braun has got to join Hit Row, yes. B Dizzle. That's what we need. B Strizzle. That'll be his name. B Strizzle. So that could be fun. How long we got? 19 minutes. 19 minutes, and I think we are at our main event. Hero. Okay, so Braun attacks. Oh, hello. Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah take on Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Damage control. And we've also got New Day, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and Los Lotharios. Solo Sikoa versus Drew McIntyre. Then Carrion attacks Drew. I'm seeing Carrion, actually. So on Raw, Raquel and Aaliyah against Io and Dakota. That's WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. We did already know about that. I think they might have changed the graphic as well, actually. I don't know if you saw. There's also next week a number one contenders match. So number one contenders tag team match. Here's Drew. Drew for new queen. That'd be nice. Drew McIntyre versus Solo Sikoa. Days to close the show. Drew will be performing Unchained Melody with Frank Bruno. Oh, that'd be so nice. That'd be so good. I still think Islands in the Stream with the Vander Holyfield would be a nice way forwards. Or He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. That'd be nice. Fat Usos could do that. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. The honorary Us as well can join in that. Oh, man. Here's Solo Sikoa. I'm still not crazy about this music. I do like it. It's a good look with the towel over his head. Here is Solo Sikoa, the Street Fighter. And Sammy coming out as well. The honorary Us in the background. 15 minutes. And I think we've got another commercial break. Michael Cole said Roman doesn't even have the guts to show up tonight. Solo doesn't have, like, the size of a Rikishi. Certainly not the size of a Yokozuna. I mean, I feel like this should be a win. Quite a comfortable win for Drew. I don't know how Solo's going to do on the main roster. Big shots here by Drew. Driving Solo back. Big chop by Drew. And loading on Solo and referee. I always criticize the refs for doing that. Putting their hands on the competitors. How long before Solo is treated like a lackey? I don't know. I just don't know what you do with him. I don't know what you do with him. He just doesn't have the size. Unless you put over, like, some of his shots. Unless you give him, like, a sequence of moves that are, like, look really devastating and he puts people away with them. Him going straight into his first match and that first match being against Drew that's a tough spot to be in, man. Back elbow, unless he gets the win. I mean, imagine if they give Solo the win here. Imagine if Solo beats Drew. That would be very brave. That would be very brave, but it might be just what he needs. Drew back in the corner, looking for a Claymore. And the Usos already having to get involved. I mean, look at that. That does not make Solo look great, does it? Solo was literally on the verge of just getting Claymored and beaten within the first few minutes. Edward said, since it's Solo's first match, think he'll win. Well, I mean, he could win, but it won't be clean. And he was literally on the verge of getting Claymored there. I don't know, this is... It makes sense to do this match because Solo did cost Drew, but it's a tricky spot. I'm really interested to see how they book this. Rikishi was 385, 400. Yoko was 638. Whisperant said Solo is too small. Like I said, lackey, high risk, and this could tear him down like the other Usos. Did you hear news about Velveteen Dream? He got in a fight with a gym owner, didn't he? You was all for him in NXT. What has changed? I don't know that that's true. I mean, I've not been watching NXT for months. I mean, I was all for him when he first came in, but I haven't seen loads of him because I haven't been watching NXT. I know Triple H is in creative, but I do wonder if Bruce is running stuff and Triple H has the final say. Because I don't think Triple H is going to go to city. What do you think? Well, I think that's the job. That is the job. I mean, with Vince not around, that's the job. So I think he's there. Yeah, I think he is doing that. Thoughts on Max Holloway saying he will get Khabib out of retirement? I don't think he will, but if he does, Max would lose. What about you? I don't think he would get him out of retirement. I don't think Khabib would come back for Holloway. Does anyone know what time Days plans doing UFC stream tomorrow? 11. I mean, we might start maybe half an hour before that. But the show starts 11 UK time, which I think is 6 Eastern. So we always do the early prelims. We always do the whole thing. So, yeah, we'll be covering it all. And we might start even a little bit before. I mean, to be honest, my plan was to do the boxing, but that's not on now. So there's been a lot that has changed in the past few hours. Modern Mogul said Solo could also put on a main event worthy effort. So what if it's a loss? This could be a first major rivalry, even if he never beats McIntyre. I just think it's hard to position him as, I mean, he is meant to be like a solo threat. He's meant to be someone that goes after mid-card. He's not in a tag team. It's not as if, like, this is Jey Uso and it doesn't really matter if he loses because he's in a tag team, you know? This is, I don't know. It just feels like Solo is someone that should come in and get some credible wins and be built up as a bit of a threat. Maybe, you know, someone that could go after and, you know, have a match with Gunther and stand a chance of winning. If he comes in and just loses to Drew in his first match, I know a loss to Drew is not the end of the world. I think people had high expectations for Solo. Maybe the expectations were too high. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Solo over by the ropes with Drew. 9 minutes left to go. Jimmy and Jay are 36. Solo is 29. Sammy on the outside. Do you think Roman, Karrion, and Drew will compete in a triple threat at a pay-per-view? Roman, Karrion, and Drew. Maybe at Crown Jewel. I mean, I don't think at Survivor Series. And apparently Roman's not at Extreme Rules, is the last I heard. So really that only leaves Crown Jewel. Unless you do it like day one. But, yeah, I mean, I'd have to say that there's probably a chance we do get that at some point. Kick out by Drew. Undercover Manager said, been busy tonight working on projects, so been quiet. Undercover Manager, shout out to you. Edward said, Days Solo Sikoa is the future of the company. I'm sorry, but it's true. Brenton said, that is the big problem with WWE. Why keep giving the one Uso chances after his troubles, but yet won't bring in Jacob Fatu? Fatu would be better bloodline member than Sikoa. I don't know what Fatu did. He's got a criminal record, but I don't know what it was he did. I mean, maybe they feel that the DUIs are bad. And who knows? Maybe if he was outside of WWE, it would be enough to stop them bringing him in. But he's already in, and he's already under a contract. And maybe the DUI is bad, but it's not as bad as what Jacob Fatu did. I don't know what Jacob Fatu did. But it might be more that he's already signed, and they've already got him. He's a problem, but he's our problem type situation. Whereas Jacob Fatu is a problem, and at the moment is not their problem. Against the ropes goes Solo. Back elbow, down goes Solo. Belly to belly. Solo gets thrown. Look underneath by Drew. Net breaker, Drew. Kip up. Drew in control. He is a little Samoa Joe. Is baby Samoa Joe. He's like Polly Pocket, but Samoa Joe version. Roll up 1, 2, kick out. Charging over, Solo gets thrown over the top rope. Big strike, down goes Jimmy Uso. This part-time Roman seems to be getting worse. We see him less and less. I like him as a world champ, but is this lack of no-show a problem? It's not for me. I've said before, as long as he defends the belt like once every 30 days, and we even discussed, could you get away with once every couple of months if you did, like, the Universal was defended in January, WWE in February. Super kick by Solo. 1, 2, shoulder up by Drew. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me. I actually think not seeing the champion makes it a bigger deal when you do see him. I think the bigger problem is that if you don't defend the title on a regular basis. But if he's not defending at Extreme Rules, then he should really defend on SmackDown or on Raw instead. Strikes. Oh, Glasgow kiss by Drew. Drew charging over, duck underneath. Usos pulled the top rope down as Drew goes to the outside. Sammy's trying to distract the ref. Usos are throwing in strikes on Drew. Stomping away. These kicks look rubbish. Why did the Usos' kicks look so bad? Why were those kicks so awful? Sammy comes round. We got the Street Profits coming down. The Honorary Us trying to attack the Street Profits. We've got Montez going up. Montez crossbody takes down Sammy and the Usos. There are bodies everywhere. It is carnage right now. Sikoa and Drew. Sikoa's got Drew up on his shoulders. Against the ropes. Against the ropes. Claymore. Solo goes out the ring. Why did the camera go black and white? Why did the camera go black and white? It's a bit rubbish. So Drew wins by DQ. Why did they put the camera black and white? Why did they do that? Has he got some kind of special power where he takes all the colour away? So, we've got McIntyre trying to power his way up to his feet. So Carrion attacks Drew. So Carrion attacks Drew. So Drew beats Solo by DQ. And Carrion attacks. Carrion trying to choke out Drew at the moment. Scarlett in the ring. Camera's black and white. They're saying like McIntyre's world is fading to black as the show fades to black. It was a no DQ match. That's strange. Was it a no DQ match? Did they announce it was a no DQ match? Didn't WWE used to turn the camera black and white when there was blood if something was busted open? Yeah, I have seen them do that at times, yeah, but that's more of a network requirement. This was more a weird production thing, like, oh, Carrion's here, let's go black and white. It's just weird that someone in the production truck would think to do that for him. Like, shouldn't really they be annoyed that their main event just got interrupted? Like, their main event just got interrupted by someone coming in. Why would someone in the production truck go, let's change this to black and white? I don't know. It's just a bit strange. That literally is my first thought when it happens. Why would someone in the production truck do that? Great ending, but best SmackDown in ages, said British Soundboard Pranks. Main event is WWE at its best, 10 out of 10. Black and White has arrived. Weird to have a Queen memorial at the end, said List of Jericho. You think too much into it. I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, that's my first thought. Why would it go black and white? So we're watching the whole show in color and then it goes black and white. Why did it go black and white? It went black and white because Carrion's here. Well, why would someone in the production truck make it go black and white? And if it's not someone in the production truck and it's something that Carrion controls, why has he got that power? What's that about? I mean, I don't know. If you take the show from color to black and white, I think it's fair to question why. I think it's fair to sit there and go, well, why have they done that? The rubbish kicks by the Usos were pathetic, says Jacqueline Hyde. I agree. Cross's segments all go black and white. Yeah, but that's when it's a planned segment that he's walking out to deliver a promo. So I can understand there being a degree of, right, you look at the scripts and you go, okay, well, that's a Carrion segment. The way we're going to present him is with black and white. That's been agreed with Triple H, so let's black and white for that bit. So when he does his promos and his segments that are pre-planned, you go black and white. Going black and white for like a run-in sneak attack is supposedly not pre-planned. If we're living in the world of kayfabe, then, that's not going to be pre-planned. Then why did we go black and white? Unless you want to say, right, that Triple H has told the production truck, anytime Carrion is on screen, I want it black and white. So as soon as they saw Carrion, they were like, okay, Triple H says, anytime he's on, I've got to go black and white, black and white. Maybe that happened. I don't know. I don't know. But that is where my head is at when you change the color to black and white for no apparent reason. I thought the match was no DQ. It's not the first time I've heard of a DQ in a no DQ. Bruce said years ago there was a DQ in a Hell in a Cell match in the 90s. It's really weird. I honestly don't know if that was a no DQ. I believe that the rumor came out that it was going to be a no DQ, but I don't know that it was ever announced as a no DQ. So I don't know that we ever got that. I would have to have a look and see if it ever did get announced that way. I don't think it was. They did it in NXT. It's part of the gimmick, don't you remember? I can't remember him sneak attacking and it going black and white. So, no, I can't remember that. It was cheesy. Drew oversold Solo's hits and Solo no-sold Drew's hits. It was cheesy. Frank said, maybe Cross and Scarlett hacked the system. Jake said, I love the black and white. If it was any cheesier, it would have been a grilled cheese. It was awesome. Let it go, says Larry. I didn't think it was awesome. I thought it was distracting. I think it's distracting. I think presenting him as being in black and white and all of that is fine for his promos and his segments. But if there's going to be a sneak attack, I don't want it going black and white because that makes it feel like there's some kind of pre-prepared. It feels pre-prepared. This is my point. It feels pre-planned, pre-prepared. So them turning it black and white, I don't know why someone in the production truck would do that unless they're on Carrion's side. Or, as we said, Triple H has left the instruction whenever he's on screen, change it black and white. But I find it a distraction. I don't find that cool. I think that, that should have stayed in color, should have been a surprise element. And I thought it took away from the segment. So people can say I'm overthinking it. But listen, wrestling fans accusing me of overthinking. This is what wrestling fans do. Jesus, have you seen all the reading into like Bray Wyatt coming back theories? Like, this is what we do. Everything gets questioned. Everything gets questioned. People look at absolutely everything. People look at entrance music, look at graphics. We have conversations about posters. So I think if you're going to turn the show from colour to black and white for seemingly like no reason during a run-in, then I don't think it's overthinking it at all. I think that you're absolutely right to question, is that a good thing to do? Why would they do that? So I have to disagree. Marty says, how long we got? Oh my God, we're 4 minutes over. I'm here chatting away. Right, I'm going to go get ready for our review. And I am a bit late for that. So, right, thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in about 10 minutes for the SmackDown review. Bye for now.